Periodically what I would like to do is provide our net group leaders, you guys, with some tips, just things that you can use as you're meeting with your groups, and just little things that you can grab online, pull them out, and hopefully grab some principles from. So today, I wanted to open that up with looking at our net group questions, the note sheets that we give you on the weekend, the questions that are attached to that. Few things on that just kind of came to my mind today as I was going through these with my men's group. And this can also apply to you guys that aren't using the net group questions. I know not all of you do. Completely fine, obviously, at the net. Principles, I think, cross over as to whatever questions you're looking at versus using the weekend questions as well. Some of this, anyway. First thing is that you guys go through the questions ahead of time. Seems like an obvious thing, but it's something I've overlooked. You've probably overlooked it too. You get these questions on Sunday before your group meets, go through and answer them yourselves. One of the benefits, I think, of that is that there's going to be times where you throw a question out and people aren't ready to answer it. Maybe they weren't there on the weekend, they didn't hear the question or see it themselves, or they're just thinking for the first time of how they would answer this question. You can throw something out there without being the only one talking, of course. You want others to interject and be able to have input. But you can give them time to think about things if you have something prepared as a way to answer this. I would oftentimes just show up to my men's group and just start going through these questions, boom, 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 and I wouldn't even have thought through my own answer. So I'm thinking as they're thinking, and there's kind of this dead space, which is okay, but it's a lot better if you can interject something and say, you know, as I was looking at this question earlier this week, this is what I thought of, which may initiate a thought in somebody else's mind. The other part of that is in addition to you just going through it, you encourage them to go through it. Obviously, you're kind of setting that precedence when you say earlier this week when I looked at this question, this is what I thought of. That kind of maybe triggers in their mind, maybe I should look at this earlier too. But tell them, just say, you know what, guys, it'd be great if before we come in, you guys just go through these. I think it'll help our discussion if you already kind of have an answer ready. So as much as possible, without legalizing anything, you just say, hey, go through these maybe one morning when you're having breakfast or during the message even. Ryan's given you liberty to do this. You've got him with you on the other side of the note sheet. Just fill in some things maybe as he's talking that you're thinking of, and then you're ready to go for group. So that's the second thing. You go through it, they go through it, and then feel free to mix this thing up. Don't feel like you have to go through every single question we give you. It is a guide. We try to put it in an order that would kind of progress as far as where your discussion might go, but your group may differ. Something may come into the conversation that, you know, fits better with a question down at the bottom rather than your next question. And so oftentimes when I'm in group, I'll be looking ahead at the next few questions while my members are talking, and I'm thinking, you know, what he just said really fits well with this question, and I'll jump right to it. I'll piggyback off him and say, you know, what you're talking about really fits with this question here that Ryan asked us to talk about, and then read that. So you can kind of guide the discussion that way. And again, you can mix it up. Don't have to go through all of them. Look at them ahead of time. You know your group. Some questions you may say, you know, this one's really going to hit with our group, or this one really isn't going to lead to good discussion. You can slash it. Cool with that. We do that a lot with the icebreakers. By the time we get to the questions in our group time, our guys are already talking and hanging out over breakfast, so there's no point for an icebreaker for us. So we just throw that out usually and we'll just jump right in. Occasionally we do it if we want to, but we don't always do it. So I want you guys to have that freedom. Utilize these tips. 1, come in prepared yourself with answers to the question. 2, encourage your members to come in already prepared, jotting down things. And 3, feel free to mix it up. So hope that helps you guys a little bit. And as always, if you need anything, we're available to you. Love you. Appreciate all that you do.